the orchestrator of the classic song Regulators,
That's right.
who I thought that this was pretty interesting. He is now part owner of a minor league baseball team that plays its games out of his hometown of Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
So the key, obviously, of this story is his ownership stake, because minor league baseball is what it is, but Warren G is a partial owner of the team. So this says Warren G becomes partial owner of minor league baseball team, wants to name them Regulators. Warren G plans to grace his hometown of Long Beach with a minor league baseball team. The rapper recently shared with TMZ that he co-owns the team, which he intends to name the Regulators after his 1994 classic Regulate. To be able to say that I am a part of Long Beach, like a team that's part of the city where I was born and raised, is amazing to me. We got to get some athletes, Warren added after shouting out the Long Beach State Dirtbags team. Even some of my friends that I know went to Major League Baseball. I'm gonna try to get them involved as well, as far as being on the coaching staff. Among one of those friends is retired professional baseball player Tony Gwynn Jr., who last played for the Philadelphia Phillies before ending his career in 2014. Warren said that the idea was spawned by a friend and his team's co-founder Gary Reeves, who's also involved with baseball team Oakland Ballers. The rapper also reflected on his short stint in baseball, saying that he was initially boo-boo at the sport before accomplishing his first home run. The team will be another rapper established Long Beach team, as his childhood friend Snoop Dogg has his own youth football league, which fellow LBC native Vince Staples once played for. So I don't know. I thought that this was kind of interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on Warren G being the partial owner of this team. Didn't do any research to see who are the other stakeholders involved, but I would imagine he has some substantial influence if he has the ability to get the team named after one of his songs. What do you make of this development with Mr. Warren G and this minor league team from Long Beach?
I think it's awesome, man. Did the article say that the team name was Dirtbags?
There's another, so that's another team. Yeah,
Oh,
there's yeah, who's Warren added after shouting out the Long Beach State Dirtbags team. So that sounds like a state college or a community college or something like that.
yeah. I mean, if there's people out here named Dirtbags, you damn you damn sure can have the name Regulators, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If Warren needs a scout, um, I'm your guy, man. I can definitely scout some talent. So holla at me, Warren G. Shout out to Tony Gwynn as well.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that name in a while. But yeah, man, I think this is an awesome endeavor. I think that guys that actually do have the ability to do something like this, as far as like, investing in a sports team, why not? Uh, I don't know, how much money Warren is pulling in these days, as far as like um, you know, other hustles or endeavors. I'm sure he's not just sitting on his hands, but having another stream of income like this, I don't see anything wrong with that. Especially something that's like a minor league team where there is an economy for that, and they could be around for a while if you do it right. So all in all, man, I don't have an issue with it at all. I didn't take him for a baseball man, but I'm not really a baseball guy myself. I know about it, but I'm not a baseball man myself. But if the opportunity arose that I could be partial owner or owner of a minor league team, minor league soccer team, I would do that. So I think that this is something that more guys should look into. I think that again, in today's day and age, where the music industry the way that it is, and in other industries the way that they are, that are affiliated with the music industry, getting into sports and planting your flag there, and seeing some checks come in, I don't have an issue with that. So shout out to Warren. I love the name Regulators. I think that I think that there's going to be a lot of guys that's going to want to play for that organization. I know I would want to say that I played for Warren G's Regulators. I think that's pretty badass. So, but what are your thoughts, man, on Sir Warren G stepping out of the shadows to own a minor league baseball team and naming it the Regulators? Man, what are your thoughts?
I'm with you on that. I also like it because of what it symbolizes. Throughout the history of this channel, we've at various points discussed sports related topics that have to do with greater societal issues. And oftentimes we've touched on various inadequacies that
Mhm,
are inherent in the business of professional sports. And we've often talked about certain individuals who oftentimes speak out against those inadequacies because we want to see a change. It can be the Kaepernick situation, or social justice reform through the perspective of the NFL, for example. um, you got people who unmute a lot to talk about the Rooney Rule and the lack of black coaches in professional football and college football, these various things that we've touched on at various points on the channel, right?
mhm,
And I think one of the things that you and I both have said is, okay, listen, man. And honestly, the more that I think about this kind of relates to what we were just talking about in terms of wallowing and in past perceived injustices, instead of trying to figure out what are the building blocks to put in place to kind of remove yourself from that and move forward. Like, there's a propensity to always complain about the inherent inadequacies in professional sports.
mhm.
And I think you and I have always said, well, if it's that big of a problem, get out of there and start your own sports league. Like,
Right.
put if it's that much of a problem, right? Like, if it's that much of an injustice,
Mhm,
if what's happening is that bad, if it's that detrimental, if it's truly that harmful, then get out of there, pull your resources together, and pull an ice cube and start your own league and appoint whoever you want to run it to be a commissioner. And you can have your own board of governors and hire who you want to own teams, and then you
mhm,
can run it however you want.
mhm,
That way you don't have to deal with said injustices because it's your thing. You can build it and do whatever you want with it. Now, of course, you have a responsibility to nurture it and to grow it so that it can become as big and successful as it possibly can be.
mhm,
But that's the goal for any business or enterprise. That's what you're supposed to do. You have a responsibility to try as much as you can to make it as successful as possible. But if what you want to do is remove yourself from a system rife with injustices, you got a bunch of these millionaires and a couple billionaires out here who complain about this stuff. You talk about it on rap songs all the time. You always want to beef, you always want to rail against the power structure and how unjust certain things are. Then get out of there and start your own league. You can pull enough money together to start something small. If Ice Cube can start the big three, then a lot of y'all people who complain about the NFL, who got all of these deep pockets, and you got friends with deep pockets, y'all can do something about starting your own football league if it's really as bad as you claim it is. So my point in saying all of that is ownership is the key to freedom in any capacity.
mhm,
Owning whatever you need to own so that you can call your own shots. So I get it. Warren G is but a partial owner, but nevertheless, he is a part of something in which he has an ownership stake, and he can make decisions that do have long term ramifications for that enterprise. Hopefully, it gets to realize the level of success that he would like for it to. Hopefully, they get a maximum return on that investment.
mhm,
Hopefully, this minor league team grows to become something bigger and bigger. And then who knows, maybe 20, 30 years down the road or whatever, Warren G can be a principal part of an ownership group that gets a stake in something bigger and on a larger scale. But the key to it is ownership and starting your own thing so that you can run it however you want. And that's not just with professional sports, that's with everything. I've talked about what's going on down here in South Florida. If you want to get anywhere down here at this point and you're in the small business space or you're self enterprising, you're going to have to deal with Hispanic people
mhm,
because they've cornered the market on enterprising down here. They've figured that out. So they're not wallowing in victimhood or complaining about injustices because they get to run their stuff how they want.
Correct.
So that's the key to this whole thing. I think that this symbolizes it, albeit to a small degree, because again, it's minor league baseball. But we'll see what fruit can come from this further in the future. But the point overall is, if you see a problem with something and you have the means and the resources to remove yourself from that environment so that you can create something that is the opposite of that because you think that's the right way to go about doing things, then do that. But I'm tired of hearing these people complain about power structures in something that they are volunteering to remain a part of. That doesn't make sense to me.
I
If
agree.
it's if it's, if it's that big of an issue, get out of there. But if you continue to stay there because you see how beneficial it is, shut
Mhm.
up and continue to get with the program. But shouts out to Warren G, and I wish him all the best of luck with this team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, especially like you said, if you have the means to do so. There's when I was working at Walmart, I complained every damn day, and there was really nothing I could do about it. It was really nothing I could. All right. So yeah, man, I hear that. Point well taken, and yeah, way to galaxy brain that in the aspect of, this is a microcosm of getting involved in something that can actually change the community, and the community he's from. So yeah, it's a small endeavor, and he is a person with the means, but there are other people in that community that have the means to do other things. And so yeah, this is a good example, although it is one. But we make a good effort to highlight these guys whenever, or gals, that are out here doing these endeavors, trying to branch out and not fall within the systemic system that's going on out here. By bucking the system and actually putting it something into the game to actually look out for your own later on. I think those are very noble things. So, Warren has always been a guy that's been laid back in the cut, not bothering anybody. There's all kinds of West Coast drama going on. His name never comes up. So he appears to be a solid dude. So I'm sure he'll do right by things. And I know that he's going to try to not only make a dollar, but also help out his community. So I think this is awesome. Bringing in somebody like Tony Gwynn is a hell of a pull,
Yeah.
because that guy is awesome. Like, do yourselves a favor, if you guys are some baseball people or just a sports person, either on TikTok or wherever your social media indulgence is at, look up former people talk about Tony Gwynn. Retired baseball players talk about Tony Gwynn. Nothing but shining compliments. I think even Barry Bonds himself said that there was nobody out there better than him. Tony Gwynn, that is.
Hmm.
So yeah, one of my favorites growing up. So I think this is an awesome endeavor. I still listen to Regulators.
Yeah.
It is in my '90s mix. I also have the version with Michael McDonald. Uh, every time you hear, I be going crazy. I'm like, hey yo, turn that up one time. So yeah, man, shout out to all of this, bro. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, shouts out to Tony Gwynn. He was a baller
Yeah,
and steroid free. So he was
yeah,
a baller and he
definitely
was a
steroid
baller. He
free.
was a baller and was not juiced up at all, bro. So the way that he was the way that how he was able to sustain his career and be as productive as he was, given the time in which he was playing, because that was the height of the juicing.
Correct.
Major respect for Tony Gwynn, man. And
100%.
shouts out to Warren G. We'll see what happens, but I hope that it reaches the highest heights that it can possibly reach, for the sake of his community and just the general notion of actually putting railroad tracks down that move a train forward instead of putting down these weird ass tracks trying to get a train to going backwards, reverse motion. So
1,000. Hey man, and shout out to Michael McDonald, big dog. First time your name came up in the stream, but hell of appropriate, man.